in my videos, we're going to focus on fluency. Whatever we do is for fluency. That's basically it. But let me tell you how it works. I share structured and consistent lessons of vocabulary and grammar, the foundations of English speaking. You hear someone speaking, you're listening to someone speaking, a native speaker, for example. All they're using are common and important vocabulary and grammar. So this is something you need to understand. So if you think about it, if you want to become fluent, you need to learn important and common vocabulary and grammar the way that can lead to your speaking. You need to activate them, not just learn them. Both linguistics and psychology suggest that you need to make meaningful communication with whatever you're learning, especially if you're an adult. You need to understand why you're learning that certain grammar, that certain vocabulary. You need to understand the meaning. You need to understand it. You need to understand its function. You need to understand the way it is used in different situations, You understand that if you truly make a true communication, you make a true connection to the language, to the vocabulary that you're learning, and to the grammar, and you make real communication with them. And how is that? What is this real and meaningful communication about? It's about you truly communicating with that, for example, connecting it to your own life. Then it will be meaningful for you, right? For example, preserve is an English word. It means to keep something safe. Okay, you think about the definition first. To keep something safe. You think about it. And you think about the idea of keeping something safe while you're thinking about the definition of that in English. So you don't translate, you don't memorize, right? Then you will go through the usages. This is the important part. You go through the different ways that grammar and that vocabulary is used. Again, you're thinking actively about them. Conscious and active effort of thinking and communicating with that. So preserve. I preserved the memory of my mother. I preserved the memory of my mother. Think about these in English. The idea, you connect the idea, you think about it, the idea, and the definition in English, the example in English, the usage in English. And slightly and slowly you will learn to think in English. And this will be more and more automatic the more you do it. The more you do this, the more you know that, okay, I should think in English. And when you think in English, that's over. Literally, if you learn to think in English and you have the right practices for speaking English is just done. I mean, if you learn to formulate English thoughts in your head, it's way easier to then turn it into your speaking. You just need some practices and then you're ready to speak the language. And again, you make connections with that into your real life. Preserve, to keep something safe. I preserved my microphone from any harm. I preserved it. I kept it safe. Now I made a connection to my real life, to what's actually here. I can now understand the idea of preserve, and I just thought in English, only English. The word preserve now is activated for you, and now you're able to bring it into your speaking a lot easier. Now you can speak it, right? So these are all the things you need to do. It's not that hard. It's just about the right mindset while learning that certain vocabulary or grammar. Also for grammar, it's easier to form ideas. I don't know, I think this way. For example, can and could, modal verbs, right? Could. Can, having the ability and power to do something. I can do that means I have the power, the ability to do that. So I think about all of this. Having the ability, I can do this. I can do this. She can do this. Can. Having the ability, I can do this. She can do this. Has the ability to work. So then I will connect it to my life. something truly meaningful. I can play basketball. I have the ability to play basketball. Done. You thought it in English. You formulated English thoughts with that. So done. It's activated. You can speak it now. As simple as that. You just need to practice it. So let's talk about what do I do here and what do we do in my channel here. So plus the tips that I'm going to share from time to time in my videos whenever I felt it's coming naturally and it's the right time, I'm going to say those. I share structured and consistent lessons of vocabulary and grammar with these methods. How? All of this thinking process, we do it together, right? I train your mind to think in English and then being able to speak it. We first go through the definition, I rephrase it, I open different doors in your mind, I try to go in different directions, rephrase it, saying it in different ways, and to help you think about it in English in different ways and formulate thoughts in English, formulate thoughts and ideas in English with those words and with those words and that grammar. And then we will go through the examples and the different usages, the different ways the grammar and the vocabularies are used. So then I will explain again and we will wait on them, we will reflect on them together, we will think about them, we'll rephrase them, we will think about them. I will explain through examples for you again and you listen and think actively. And at the end of the video, you have activated the lesson. Either it is 5 super common words in English, or it is one important and common grammatical lesson. We will activate this together. So basically, I'm here to activate some of the most important and common grammar and vocabulary with you. English is my second language. All of the things I try to do, it's like mostly based on personal experiences. And I make sure they have background. I make sure they have scientific and experimental backgrounds. Like the things I just talked about, they're very, very highly accepted and proven in both linguistics and psychology. And it's just basically the way you can activate it, especially if you're an adult. I think I was so tired of the fact that students were just exposed to a lot of lessons and teachers on YouTube, some of the great ones that are just introducing the new words and vocabulary for them. They don't know how exactly they should think about them. They're either memorizing them, translating them, or trying to just force themselves to get the concept. And they understand it at the moment, they get it at the moment, but then they get how it works at the moment, but they don't activate it. So I thought that you guys were left alone at this stage. So as a person who did this on her own, and as a person who mostly had this, journey of activating rather than just, learning words and vocabulary, as I said, English is my second language. So I've managed kind of to activate all the vocabulary and all the grammars that I've learned, and I'm really happy to do this. So if you have any suggestions, anything in your mind, don't forget to share with me. I'll be happy to read them and see what's going on. Thank you so much. If you want structured and consistent lessons of English, vocabulary, and grammar for the ways I told you about, don't forget to subscribe. Thank you so much. Bye.